Cèline Gauer, che è direttrice generale della Task Force Ripresa e Resilienza della Commissione Europea, quella Task Force che come dire, coordina i lavori, negozia, verifica, eccetera, eccetera, con i governi nazionali la gestione del PNRR. La chiamo sul palco per il suo intervento, la introduco. Nelle chiacchiere, diciamo, prima dell'inizio dei lavori le avevo chiesto se cortesemente mi lasciava a me la terza rata, che poi io avrei distribuito naturalmente in modo integrale a tutti voi. Purtroppo non è stato possibile. La ringrazio molto. Thank you for being here with us, Cèline Gauer, e pongo 3 parole chiave: terza rata, quarta rata, asili nido e rimodulazione. Io la introduco così, lei è libera di sviluppare il suo intervento. Prego.
Thank you very much. Good morning to all, and my apologies, I will speak in English. So thank you very much to you. Thank you very much to ANCI also for giving me an opportunity to be with you this morning. I think this event is extremely important because it gives you the opportunity to exchange, but also because it gives us the opportunity to discuss about the PNRR. It is a huge importance for Italy, this National Recovery and Resilience Plan, because it is transformative. It is not only because it is bringing 200 billion of funding for investments in the countries, but it is because it is enabling reforms that have been awaited by this country and by people around it for many, many years. It has created a momentum to do things that were wished for but never really undertaken to that magnitude before. If you think about the justice reform, if you think about the reform of the public administrations, just to take those 2 first examples that have already been put underway in a very effective manner, this is truly transformative for Italy and truly an opportunity to modernize and change the country for the better. It is a huge opportunity. It is also a huge responsibility, and a responsibility that we all share here. Because Italy being the largest beneficiary of the Recovery and Resilience Facility is also the one that's going to determine whether it is a success or a failure. It was said already before me by the mayor, if we make it here, we will make it anywhere. So it is really the most important thing, and that is not something that the Commission will do alone, that the Italian government will do alone, or the Parliament, but that requires the involvement of all actors, and in particular the actors at local level, cities and municipalities, where so many competences are enshrined. It is a new instrument. It is not like another EU fund where you have money flowing to the different member states. It is a kind of contract between each and every member state, Italy being just one of them, and the EU to agree on a set of objectives that will be delivered. And this contract nature, where you basically choose the means and we agree on the result, is truly new and I believe very, very effective. And in this way, it is also very complementary to structural funds, to cohesion funding that you are very familiar with. Because the reforms that are being undertaken through the plans are also going to help the spending in cohesion. If we simplify permitting, if we simplify procedures at national level, then it will also facilitate the implementation of investments. It is also allowing cities, and all cities, big, small, north, south, to benefit from the support and to benefit from the transformation, which is also a major thing. So as I said, it is a matter for all. And it is not something in itself. So implementing the plan is not an objective in itself. Implementing the plan is only a way to deliver on policies and on agreed policies. And I see 3 major elements of that. The first one is sustainability. The second is social and territorial cohesion. And the third one is competitiveness and attraction for business. So if we think about sustainability, when we look at where the population lives, simply citizens live 70%, 72% in Italy in cities. And more than 3/4 of the emissions come from cities. So if we want to manage the climate transition, it starts with the cities. and with the municipalities. So we have to work there. And here we see the PNRR as a fantastic opportunity to do so. The funding that will go into energy efficiency in buildings, which is absolutely massive in the Italian plan, will reduce emissions from heating and from cooling in the cities, but also will reduce emission from business located there. Sustainable urban transport, I think there was already a mention by the mayor of the electric buses. As there's also all the charging stations that will reduce pollutions in the cities and facilitate the transition away from oil and fossil fuel more in general. Here again, we have very, very large investments in the Italian plan, like in many of the other plans, to accelerate and facilitate this transition. But also connecting cities between them. The railway investments that are for 25 billion, this is huge, in the Italian plan, will allow connecting city quicker and better. If you look at Roma, I think the investment there will bring Pescara as only 2 hours from the city, or will reduce the traveling time to Ancona by 40 minutes. So these are very concrete elements that will benefit citizens and will help the transition to a more sustainable economy. Territorial and social cohesion, of course, is also at the core of the PNRR in Italy, but also in all the member states. If we look at the overall plans, we'll see that a third of the investments go to social measures, be it into education, in health, in social housing, for example. Here we already talked about childcare facilities, which are essential to reduce inequalities for children, but also essential to bring women to the labor market, as we know is one of the big challenges in this country. And here we have massive investment in childcare facilities to create more than 200,000 places throughout the country for children to be taken care of. And I could carry on with examples of health investment in the community houses, so to make sure that health services are also more accessible to the people close to where they live, close to them, or again public social housing, which is also essential to ensure accessibility. Thirdly, and third main objective of this plan, like the other plans, making Europe and making Italy more competitive and more attractive for business. And here again we find a double element for this. We find the reform element, simplification of procedures. We have in the plan, and thanks to the plan, 600 procedures that have to be simplified and cut down for business, but also for citizens in the overall plan, to improve the business environment, to simplify the creation of companies, and then the creation of jobs for people close to where they live. This is just an example, also example of support to companies to digitalize and to decarbonize. And when we look at the number of startups that have started proliferating in the country, everywhere, not only in the north, but also very much in the south lately, I think it is really inspiring and sends really a strong signal of hope. All of this is all the promises that we have from the plan, but of course, I'm not going to forget that there are challenges. We know there are challenges for Italy, but also for all the other member states. And those challenges come first from the very broad scope and the very strong need for cooperation and coordination at all levels. All these projects are complex, they require help at national level, at regional level, and also at local level. The capacity of some of the municipalities, of course, and the smallest one, more importantly, is put at a stretch, and we know that as well. Inflation and supply shortages have also made things more complicated since the adoption of the plan. And the biggest of all of our challenge, of course, is time. Because 2026 is the absolute dead. I think it's there in big letters on the wall, and it is what we essentially woke up every morning with in mind, because it is an absolute deadline for implementing all of these reforms and investments. But of course, looking at these challenges only means that we have to find tools to address them, and that we have to do that together. And already here, within the plan, we find support tools for municipalities and for the local level that is in need of support. So there's 1,000 experts that are there and have been financed and created by the plan to help the municipalities who need them to implement investments. Also, the support platform that allows anyone who needs technical assistance to call on it and be able to accelerate the investment is important. But all of this will only be tooled for helping also better cooperation. And that's cooperation between all of you, and that's why I'm so happy that you are together here and have an opportunity to discuss how best practices from one municipality can be implemented in another one, how smaller ones can be supported by bigger ones and learn from each other, but also cooperation with us. And the Commission is there for you, is there for the Italian authorities to help and support. We are here really to help. We want this to succeed for you, but for Europe also in general. So in conclusion, let me leave you with a strong positive message and a message of hope. Things are going well. And yes, when we read the Italian press, we read a lot about challenges. But what we should not forget is that things are going really, really well. The acceleration of the implementation since 2021, when we all started, has been impressive if we compare it to the usual spending and the usual processes we are used to. So disbursement towards Italy have already reached 67 billion. This is absolutely massive. And more importantly, we have already seen in the economy the very important stabilization effect that the plan has had. Despite the very big crisis that has hit all the countries and Italy in particular, energy crisis, inflation, and of course COVID crisis at the very outset, I think the situation has kept pretty well, and the economy is actually doing pretty well. Unemployment is still reducing, and growth is still there and forecasted to last. So things are already working, and on the ground. When, again, I look at all the reforms that have been passed and continue being adopted by your parliament, I'm very optimistic. They're truly transformative, and they're really excellent. And this is already a good thing, and that we should simply continue and keep the momentum. Same for investments. Yes, investments are difficult and complicated. Yes, but they are progressing. The calls are being launched. They are starting. Again, they're difficult, but they are moving forward. So I think what is upon us today is to keep this momentum. It's not to solve a problem. It is just to keep doing the good work that we have done so far. To use indeed the revision of the plan and Repower EU to fine-tune the elements where we need to fine-tune because of inflation, because of delays linked to the current situation, and then to carry on until 2026. Where we will be able to look back and think, well, that was a terrible crisis, but of which we have created a fantastic opportunity. So many thanks again for allowing me to be with you today. Wish you all the good work in the 2 coming days, and you can count on your support, and I know that I can also count on your commitment and willingness to really implement this great opportunity for Italy. Thank you very much.